Hello. If you were offered 10 grand to stay the night in a haunted house, would you do it? Would you? Hi, I'm Tom Jr. Jackson, and you're watching Something Something Chat Show with Tom Jr. Jackson Presents. After the movie review, episode 8, and today's episode is A House on Haunted Hill from 1959, and this is Spooky October Edition, Series 2. And before we begin, as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, as well as down in the discovery description box. Check out the channels that are listed there. Channels like the Burnett Work, which have plenty of shows to watch, like Robservations. Let's Get Physical Media with Dieter and Rob. Or is that Rob and Dieter? You make the choice. And as always, Que Pasa, PGS, as well as Ladies of the PGS with your hosts, RM and Lorena Creo. Speaking of RM, check out Positive Fandom. That is her channel, which she has many, many other shows as well, such as Sunday Brunch Live with her co-host Russ Whitfield, and also every Thursday check out her historic watch party live, where they watch a movie that has to do something to do with history. Check that out as well. She hosts that with her co-host, Darth Plato. And get ready soon because she'll be doing reviews for the seasons of For All Mankind. So check that out. And check out After the Sequels. What is After the Sequels, you ask? After the Sequels is a channel that is run by Maria Espino, a great friend to the channel, just like RM is a great collaborator and a great friend to this channel as well. Maria Espino is the president and CEO of The Last Gaming Prophecy Incorporated. And right now she's in the middle of making the first of her 3 Star Wars fan films with her company. They'll be animated, and there's also going to be a television show to come with it. So check that out on After the Sequels, because there are plenty of podcasts where she interviews the makers, the cast, the story writers, and so much more. Find out about the first Star Wars fan film she has coming out, The Chosen One. Check that out. And also check out Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster. Start your Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings with a free show of Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster. And then go to morningdisaster.net to find out how you can find out so many more of their programming that you can watch for as low as $5. Can't ask for anything more than that, folks. Can't ask for anything more than that. So check that out. Ray Lytle, good friend to the channel, and I think you'll all enjoy it. You'll get a good laugh. The less you know about the show, the funnier it is. Check it out. Now, let's get on with the view that we have for you today. House on Haunted Hill from 1959. House on Haunted Hill, which I'm sure many of you have seen. You've probably seen the remake of it. The House on Haunted Hill is about a millionaire who offers $10,000 or 10 grand to 5 people who agree to be locked in to a large, spooky rented house overnight with him and his wife. Will they survive? Won't they survive? You'll have to watch and find out, won't you? Which brings up the question, if a millionaire offered you 10 grand to stay the night locked in a spooky house, would you do it? Let me know in the comments if you would do it. So the year was 1959. Let's give you a little feedback into what 1959 had to offer. It had to offer films like The Bat, Ben-Hur, Derby O'Gill and the Little People, The Diary of Anne Frank, Gidget, How Rocket Will Travel. That is a Three Stooges film. North by Northwest. Those were the films at the time. And William Castle, who made quote movies with a gimmick, decided to make a film. What he wanted to do is he wanted to meet with Vincent Price, and he told him the premise of the film, because they were having coffee, and he found out that Vincent Price had been passed over for a role. And he said, I have this movie, and excuse me, here's the premise of it. And Price liked the idea, and it led to two collaborations. This film and it's this film and The Tingler. That's right, folks, The Tingler. And if you're a Gilbert Gottfried fan, you would know he does a great impression of Vincent Price, who in The Tingler would say, "Run, run for your life! It's the Tingler. The Tingler is in the theater." So yeah, and you just got my impression there of that. And both this and The Tingler both came out in 1959. So House on Haunted Hill is Cassandra. Excuse me, Cassandra Peterson's favorite horror film. Cassandra Peterson is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Now the opening of this film, okay, so you'll see the house in it that they're going to be locked into, and the house is still there. It's actually on the historical places in California. But the house you see at the beginning, you hear all these moanings and howling and all this stuff. And that opening scare track was so effective that it spawned and started the novelty Halloween records, which were the sound effect records that people could buy every Halloween and play them outside their houses. They decorate them, and you'd play the sound effects, and that's how that works. Yeah, that's how that works. So the gimmick with this was called Emergo. Emergo was, you'd be watching the film, you'd be sitting there in the chair, and you'd be watching the film. And as you're watching the film, a skeleton would come floating down and fly right over your head. Just fly right over you. And that would be the scare gimmick, the gimmick of the film. Whereas with the Tingler, there were buzzers in the seat. That would buzz, kind of shock you, because the Tingler is running through the theater. When the Tingler would go through the theater, it would make your seat jolt, and you would think that you were attacked by the Tingler. So Emergo was the film going, the skeleton floating right at you. So that's what that was there. And some of that Emergo equipment still exists. It has been resurrected for use during special screenings of the films. Like you can actually, if you're a movie theater and you show old films, you can actually say, "Well, I'd like to show it with blah 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 with the Emergo," and they will come and set it up for you, and you know you get the full effect. Now, in the film, the uh, five people who are brought to the house are offered 10 grand, $10,000, and in 2022 that would be around. Let's see here. That'd be around $101,500 in 2022 dollar amount. So due for inflation, it would be $101,500. So yeah, I'd still a hefty chunk of change there, my friends. The movie was released on February 17th, 1959. Vincent, as I said, Vincent Price is in this film, and he is great in this film. He's really good. Now, because the original copyright holder of this film failed to renew the copyright, it fell into public domain. So that means now you can you can put it on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, and not get charged for it. And you can do whatever you want with it. As a matter of fact, there is, at the time of this recording, there is a Kickstarter for someone who wants to actually put it in proper 3D and put it in proper 3D and put it out on Blu-ray. So yeah, that would be interesting to see. And today's modern, I think today's modern 3D is a lot more effective than the 3D of the 50s. But the 3D of the 50s was still the same as it is now. I mean, was sort of like it is now, but not as good. I mean, it had an effect on the crowds then, but nowadays it just doesn't hold up to what we can do digitally with the 3D and how we can actually adjust for it for, what is forward, forward and, the dimensions. That's the word I'm looking for. It was among the AFI 2001 list of 400 movies um, for the top 100 most heart pulsing American films. And at the time, yeah, it really does give you those scares for that time. Now, this film is, as I said, it's about these five people who they don't some people know, some people don't know. It's a millionaire and his wife who want these people to come stay. They're having a party. They're given guns. There's this one guy that comes in. It's like, well, your ghost's here, and my brother was here, and he was killed, and I'm gonna find out why. And it's a really for late 50s, early 60s. It's a great concept for a film. It really is. And Vincent Price and the woman who plays his wife are both equally creepy. Because he feels that she she's out just for his money and wants to kill him, and she thinks that he wants to kill her. And it's a really great film. It really is. It's in black and white. It's a great black and white film. I mean, honestly, here's what's great about black and white films, and this is just my opinion. Black and white films, okay? When you look at a color film, you're looking everywhere, everything, all at once. You're just looking at that tree, the color of the fabric, the walls, the sky, the clouds, the ground, the houses, everything. But when you watch a black and white film, you're only focused on the characters. And this is a great character based film. Character driven, it's a great story. Um, and it is horrifyingly creepy towards the end. I'm not going to say why if you haven't seen it, but it is a great popcorn film. And I like a lot of good films. I like this. I like popcorn films that are from the 1950s. The 50s, the 40s, and the 50s had the greatest sci-fi horror films. Some of the 30s did too, but these are films that you maybe will see them on TV once in a while, and you want to watch it. You're like, yeah, should I watch it? Should I not watch it? Watch it. It is a great film. It is a fun film. And I think really what you should do is watch this film and then watch the remake that they did in 98, 99, something like that. And see the differences and what they kept and what they didn't keep. But I definitely would watch this one first. And it's such a fun movie to watch. It really, really is. Um, I mean, Vincent Price's campiest is the best. I mean, it's a campy movie, but it's very good, for its time. Um, Now one of the ladies in the film, there's an older woman in there. She's kind of got like she's older. She's got like these rings on. She looks like an old lady almost. Um, she's one of the group that's staying there, and her name is Julie Mitchum. And Julie Mitchum is the sister of Robert Mitchum, the actor. She's great in this film. This whole film is full of the schlocks and surprises and the gags and whatnot. But it's a great film, and it's one of those films where you're like, if you've never seen it, you wonder to yourself, okay, is this being done by someone else? Is someone behind this? Is this place haunted? Is it not haunted? And will they leave? Will they get out? It's just a fun movie to watch. And it's one of those films that you really don't expect to see. But it's a great one. It's a great one. And I honestly don't think I don't think I've ever like passed by it on TV and said, I'm not going to watch this. It's one of those films you have to watch. It's a great popcorn film. It's a great film of the time where people would go to these parties and they'd be all dressed up with the suits and the ties and the skirts, and they look all dressed up. And it was a time when people would go out with their jackets and their ties, and they look um, all dressed in the nines, as they would say. And I kind of wish that we had those days where you would dress up to go to the movies. You go to the movies, you wear a suit and tie, and you get up. You go on a plane, a suit and tie, and you look really nice. And I think that in the years since, everything's become more lax. But I think that if you can dress up and you look good dressed up, go for it. Go for it, my friends. Um, and like I said, this movie was made by William Castle. And if you don't know who William Castle is, look him up. William Castle did this film. He did The Tingler. He did the original 13 Ghosts. And if you haven't seen 13 Ghosts, I highly recommend you check that out. The original one, not the new one. The new one is fine, but the original one, it's a real good looker, as I would say. It's a corker, a banger of a movie, as they would say. Um, but I highly recommend this one. I don't think there's a flaw in it at all. Can you see strings in some of the things? Yeah, but you know what? That's the beauty of this film because it was so cheaply made. And if you've ever seen the movie Matinee with John Goodman, he's basically playing William Castle. That film is about loosely based on William Castle, and so you'll see that he's loosely based on William Castle, and a little bit I would like to say on Alfred Hitchcock as well. Um, so there's about that. But the movie we're discussing here is The House on Haunted Hill, which came out in 1959. I mean, the movies that came out that year, they just want some, dime a dozen films. I mean, you had like Ben-Hur and The Diary of Anne Frank and then Gidget and then North by Northwest. I mean, those are some heavy, heavy films and some great iconic films as well. So I don't think that you should miss this film. If it's on Turner Classic Movies, watch it. If I believe at the time that I'm recording this, it's on Prime Video. Check it out. Honestly, it is worth checking out. And Vincent Price, there is a scene in this film where he goes into a room and he goes, "It's close to midnight." And if you hear that line said by him, and it sparks a little, hey, that sounds like yes. Well, yes, that is where that line comes from in the song Thriller. And Vincent Price was the man who did the little horror rap in the middle of Thriller. So, this movie has connections everywhere. So yeah. Well, that is my review of House on a Haunted Hill. This has been episode 8 of After the Movie Review, Spooky October Edition, Series 2. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank, as always, you, the viewer. And I'd like to thank my good friend RM, Robert Meyer Burnett, and Ray Lytle. I would also like to thank all of you once again. And please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the videos. And as always, all my videos are in playlists. So you can do, what's the word I'm looking for? You can binge them. Or do like little marathons. Watch some of the stuff that I have on the channel. Yeah, that's about it, my friends. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you all for being here and taking the time out of your day or morning or night or whenever you're watching this to watch it. And until next time, folks, please remember we are all good people and we are all good people. Thank you and have a pleasant tomorrow. And until next time, I am, as always, your host, Tom Jr. Jackson, signing off for now. Bye bye.